Jesus taught the exact moon phase when the soul trap weakens and escape becomes possible now. Jesus' hidden knowledge of lunar cycles and soul mechanics. Jesus understood celestial mechanics in ways that modern Christianity has completely forgotten. The Church reduced his teachings to moral lessons and salvation theology, but Jesus possessed deep esoteric knowledge about how cosmic forces affect human consciousness and soul. The moon played a central role in this hidden curriculum. Ancient mystery schools across all cultures recognized the moon's power over consciousness. Egyptian priests tracked lunar phases meticulously. Vedic traditions developed elaborate systems linking moon cycles to spiritual practice. Babylonian astronomers mapped lunar movements with extraordinary precision. Jesus studied with masters who preserved this ancient wisdom. The moon does not merely reflect sunlight in the night sky. It generates powerful gravitational and electromagnetic fields that directly influence Earth and everything on it. Ocean tides respond to lunar pull but the moon also affects the water in your body, your blood, your cerebrospinal fluid. You are approximately 70% water. The moon moves this water constantly. Your consciousness rides on electromagnetic waves throughout your nervous system. The moon's electromagnetic field interacts with your biofield continuously. During certain lunar phases, this interaction weakens the barriers between dimensions. The veil thins predictably according to the moon's position relative to Earth and Sun. Jesus taught his closest disciples to track these cycles carefully. He explained that the reincarnation trap, the soul recycling system Archons maintain, operates through electromagnetic frequency barriers. These barriers strengthen and weaken in rhythmic patterns tied to celestial movements. The moon's cycle creates the most accessible window for those seeking liberation. The Archons constructed their soul trap to exploit natural cosmic cycles. They cannot control the moon itself, but they built their system to align with lunar phases strategically. Most souls depart physical bodies during waxing or full moon phases. The archonic recycling machinery operates at peak efficiency during these times. Souls get swept into the reincarnation current almost automatically. Jesus died during Passover, which always falls on a full moon, but his resurrection occurred 3 days later during the waning phase. This timing was not coincidental. He demonstrated the principle he taught, using specific lunar windows to transcend the normal death and rebirth cycle. His body remained in the tomb during the dangerous full moon period. Understanding these cycles gives you tremendous advantage. You can plan spiritual practices around optimal lunar timing. More importantly, you can prepare for the moment of your death strategically. Knowing when the soul trap weakens most allows conscious souls to time their departure for maximum liberation probability. How the Archon soul trap functions and why moon phases matter. The soul trap is not metaphorical or symbolic. It exists as a technological energetic construct that Archons maintain in the lower astral planes. When your physical body dies, your consciousness exits into these dimensions. Immediately, you encounter the archonic recycling system designed to capture and redirect souls back into physical incarnation. The trap operates through several mechanisms working simultaneously. First, intense white light appears that draws consciousness like moths to flame. This light is not source or God. It is an artificial construct generating powerful electromagnetic attraction. Most souls move toward it automatically because it mimics the divine light they unconsciously seek. As souls approach this light, archonic entities appear as deceased loved ones, religious figures, or spirit guides. These are imposters, using telepathic scanning to appear as whoever you expect to see. They speak reassuringly. They tell you to come toward the light. They promise reunion with departed family. They describe the wonderful place waiting for you. Once a soul enters the light fully, memory wipes begin. Archons erase or suppress memories of previous incarnations. They show you a selective life review, highlighting regrets and failures. They convince you that you need to return to physical life to resolve karma or learn lessons. The soul agrees to reincarnate, usually without understanding what is happening. The entire system runs on electromagnetic frequencies and consciousness manipulation, but these frequencies do not operate at constant strength. Celestial mechanics affect the electromagnetic environment of near-Earth space continuously. The moon's gravitational and electromagnetic influence creates rhythmic fluctuations in the trap's efficiency. During full moon phases, the electromagnetic barrier between physical and astral planes becomes most solid. The archonic machinery operates at peak power. Souls departing bodies during full moon periods face the strongest trap activation. The light appears most brilliant and compelling. The emotional manipulation reaches maximum intensity. During new moon phases, the opposite occurs. The moon sits between Earth and Sun, creating a unique electromagnetic configuration. The barrier between dimensions becomes more permeable, but paradoxically weaker in terms of archonic control. The trap continues functioning, but with significantly reduced power. Souls possessing knowledge and intention can navigate around it more easily. The 3 days surrounding the exact new moon create the optimal window. During this period, the electromagnetic frequencies that power the soul trap destabilize measurably. Archonic entities struggle to maintain their illusions. The full light dims noticeably for aware souls. Alternative exit paths become visible that remain hidden during other lunar phases. Jesus taught this secret to his inner circle. He explained that souls departing during the new moon window had vastly better chances of avoiding reincarnation. He described techniques for recognizing and rejecting the false light. He gave specific mantras and visualizations to maintain clarity during the death transition. This knowledge was never meant for public teaching because the Masseuse lacked preparation to use it properly. The Dark Moon Gateway. When the veil thins most, the new moon is often called the dark moon because it becomes invisible from Earth. No moonlight illuminates the night sky during this phase. Ancient peoples recognized this darkness as sacred. They understood it represented not absence, but potential. The dark moon symbolizes the void from which creation emerges. Spiritually, the dark moon creates a unique energetic environment. The moon's electromagnetic signature minimizes during this phase. This creates a pocket of relative silence in the frequency spectrum. The archonic control grid relies on electromagnetic saturation to maintain power. When the moon goes dark, gaps appear in their surveillance and containment systems. Think of it like a security system with sensors everywhere. During most lunar phases, these sensors overlap completely. No gaps exist in the coverage. But during the new moon, the electromagnetic configuration shifts. Blind spots emerge in the monitoring system. Someone who knows where these gaps exist can move through them undetected. Jesus understood this principle through direct experience and teaching. He spent 40 days and nights in the wilderness, confronting archonic forces. During this time, he learned to navigate non-physical dimensions consciously. He discovered the weak points in their control structures. The dark moon period revealed itself as the most significant vulnerability. When your consciousness prepares to leave your physical body, timing matters enormously. If you depart during a full moon, you emerge into an astral environment flooded with archonic activity. The false light blazes intensely. Deceptive entities swarm around newly disembodied souls. The emotional manipulation reaches overwhelming levels. But if you can time your departure for the dark moon window, you emerge into comparative quiet. The false light still appears, but with notably less intensity. Archonic entities still attempt contact, but with reduced numbers and power. Most importantly, alternative pathways become visible that remain hidden during other phases. These pathways lead away from the reincarnation machinery entirely. They connect to higher dimensional realms beyond archonic jurisdiction. Jesus called these pathways the narrow gate that few find. He was not speaking metaphorically. He described actual energetic corridors that open during specific cosmic timing windows. The dark moon creates a 3-day window each month. The day before the exact new moon, the day of the new moon, and the day after all carry this beneficial quality. Souls departing physical life during these 72 hours face the weakest version of the trap. Knowledge plus timing equals liberation. Advanced practitioners can learn to navigate these windows while still alive. Out-of-body experiences during dark moon phases allow conscious exploration of astral territories. You can scout the terrain you will navigate after physical death. You can locate the alternative pathways while you still have a body to return to. This reconnaissance provides invaluable preparation. Jesus almost certainly practiced such explorations. His ability to operate in multiple dimensions simultaneously suggests extensive experience with conscious astral navigation. He taught his disciples techniques for deliberate out-of-body travel. These practices focused specifically on dark moon timing for maximum clarity and minimum interference, preparing for death during the liberation window. Most people cannot choose their exact moment of death. Accidents, sudden illness, or circumstances beyond control determine timing for the majority. But those who die from old age or progressive disease often have some influence over the process. Understanding lunar timing can inform end-of-life decisions in powerful ways. Ancient spiritual traditions recognize this. Tibetan Buddhism developed elaborate practices around conscious dying. Yogic traditions taught methods for releasing the life force at optimal times. Japanese samurai trained to choose their death moment. All these systems incorporated celestial timing, particularly lunar phases. Jesus demonstrated conscious dying perfectly. Though crucified against his will, he maintained complete awareness and control throughout. He chose the exact moment to release his spirit. "Father, into your hands I commit my spirit," marked his conscious decision to depart. This occurred during the waning moon phase, not the full moon of his crucifixion. For those facing terminal conditions, lunar timing offers genuine strategic advantage. If you know death approaches, you can request reduced intervention during dark moon periods. Many medical protocols keep people alive through artificial means. But if your goal is liberation rather than maximum life extension, refusing these interventions during the optimal window makes spiritual sense. Hospice care often respects patient wishes about intervention. You can communicate your intention to depart peacefully during specific timeframes. Family members who understand your spiritual goals can support this timing. Obviously, this requires preparing loved ones mentally and emotionally well in advance. The conversation sounds challenging but becomes necessary. Explain that you understand lunar cycles affect consciousness. Express your desire to die during a new moon window if possible. Most people cannot comprehend this level of spiritual sophistication, but your closest family and friends might understand if you educate them gradually. Beyond timing the physical death moment, preparation involves mental and emotional readiness. You must train yourself to resist the false light attraction. This requires practice while alive. Regular meditation, focusing on rejecting deceptive appearances, builds the necessary discrimination. Visualization exercises help establish the response pattern. Jesus taught specific phrases to speak at the moment of death. These phrases assert your sovereign identity and reject archonic authority. They declare your intention to return to Source directly without recycling. Speaking these declarations with full conviction at the critical moment can override the trap's default programming. One such phrase, "I am a sovereign divine being. I do not consent to memory wipe or reincarnation. I reject the false light and all deceptive entities. I return to infinite Source directly through my own divine authority." Practice this until it becomes automatic. Your consciousness must speak it reflexively when confronting the trap. Another essential practice involves recognizing deceased loved ones as potential The hardest part of navigating the death transition is rejecting beings who appear as your dead mother, father, spouse, or child. Your emotional bonds make you vulnerable to this manipulation. Training yourself to question every appearance, no matter how convincing, is crucial. Jesus warned about this explicitly in apocryphal texts. He described archonic entities taking any form necessary to deceive souls. He taught that true divine guides never pressure or manipulate. They respect your sovereignty, absolutely. Any being urging you toward a particular choice or destination is suspect by definition, living in alignment with lunar liberation cycles. Now, you do not need to wait until physical death to work with lunar liberation cycles. These windows offer powerful opportunities for spiritual practice while alive. The same energetic conditions that weaken the soul trap also enhance consciousness expansion and dimensional exploration during incarnation. Begin tracking new moon dates. Mark them on your calendar. Plan your deepest spiritual practices around these 3-day windows each month. You will notice significant differences in the quality and depth of your meditation, energy work, and intuitive reception during dark moon periods. Fasting during the new moon amplifies the beneficial effects. Jesus fasted for 40 days during his wilderness initiation. While such extreme fasting is neither necessary nor advisable for most people, short fasts during new moon windows provide powerful results. Even 24 to 72 hours without food clarifies consciousness dramatically. The fasting works synergistically with the lunar energetics. Your body releases stored toxins during fasting periods. These toxins leave your system, along with their associated frequency distortions. Simultaneously, the dark moon minimizes external electromagnetic interference. The combination creates optimal conditions for consciousness elevation. Meditation practice during new moon windows often produces breakthrough experiences. The veil between dimensions thins enough for direct perception of normally hidden realities. Many practitioners report first seeing archonic structures or experiencing clear communication with genuine higher dimensional beings during dark moon meditations. Out-of-body practice becomes significantly easier during these windows. The electromagnetic conditions that weaken the soul trap also reduce the usual resistance to consciousness, leaving the body voluntarily. Many people achieve their first successful conscious projection during new moon periods after struggling during other phases. Use these monthly opportunities to practice the death navigation techniques. Enter deep meditation during the dark moon window. Visualize yourself dying and emerging into the astral plane. Practice recognizing and rejecting the false light. Practice speaking your sovereignty declarations. Build the neural and energetic pathways while you still have a body to return to. Jesus established patterns of spiritual practice aligned with celestial cycles. He withdrew to isolated places regularly for extended prayer and fasting. These retreats almost certainly coincided with optimal lunar and solar timing. He was not praying in the sense of petitioning an external deity. He was navigating consciousness through dimensional gateways. Group practice during dark moon windows multiplies the individual effects. When multiple awakened souls gather during these periods, their combined electromagnetic fields create zones of enhanced clarity. Jesus gathered his disciples for specific teachings during new moon periods. These gatherings generated sufficient field coherence to enable group consciousness experiences. You can create your own dark moon circles with like-minded practitioners. Gather during the 3-day window, maintain silence, or engage in conscious discussion. Practice energy work together. Support each other in developing death navigation skills. These relationships may extend beyond current incarnation, as awakened souls often travel in clusters. The ultimate goal is reaching a state where you no longer need the lunar window advantage. Fully awakened consciousness can reject the soul trap during any lunar phase. Jesus achieved this level of mastery. His resurrection demonstrated complete sovereignty over the recycling system regardless of cosmic timing. But until reaching that level of attainment, using every advantage makes tactical sense. The Archons have spent millennia perfecting their trap. They understand human psychology and energetic mechanics intimately. Fighting them on even ground is unnecessary when the moon provides regular strategic advantages. Work with natural cosmic cycles rather than against them. The moon's dark phase opens a window of liberation that occurs 12 to 13 times annually. Jesus understood this profoundly. He taught his closest disciples to align their spiritual practice with this rhythm. He demonstrated conscious dying during the optimal window. His resurrection proved that escaping the reincarnation trap is possible for those who possess knowledge and preparation. You can begin applying this wisdom immediately. Track new moon dates and intensify your spiritual practice during those periods. Fast, meditate deeply, practice out-of-body navigation, and build the skills you will need at physical death. These monthly windows gift you repeated opportunities to strengthen your consciousness and establish liberation pathways. For those facing death in the foreseeable future, understanding lunar timing provides hope and strategy. Request minimal intervention during dark moon periods if possible. Prepare your consciousness through daily practice. Learn the declarations of sovereignty. Train yourself to reject deceptive appearances. Face death as a conscious warrior, not a confused victim. The Archonic soul trap loses power during specific celestial alignments. This is not spiritual fantasy, but practical metaphysics. The same forces that move ocean tides affect the electromagnetic structures containing human consciousness. Jesus accessed ancient knowledge about these mechanics. He shared it with those ready to use it responsibly. As more souls escape the reincarnation cycle, the entire Archonic system each liberation weakens the trap slightly. The collective awakening happening now includes thousands recognizing these truths simultaneously. The Archons cannot maintain control when sufficient numbers understand and apply liberation technology. Your death does not need to lead to another unconscious incarnation. You possess the knowledge to exit the wheel. The moon itself provides the timing. Jesus showed the way. Now you must walk the path with eyes open, consciousness clear, and sovereignty unshakable. The dark moon window awaits your next opportunity to practice. Begin tonight. Leave your comment, sharing your experiences during new moon phases. Like this video if this Revelation Academy channel where we daily reveal the true esoteric teachings that Jesus preserved for awakened souls. Share this vital knowledge with those ready to escape the Archonic reincarnation cycle. Together we are navigating the lunar liberation windows and reclaiming our divine sovereignty. Your escape from the soul trap resonated with your preparation for liberation. Subscribe to the Divine Light begins with understanding cosmic timing. The next new moon portal approaches.